Good morning, dear student. In our grammar, our 23rd lesson name is future continuous tense. So let me see here the uses of future continuous tense and its definition here. So first of all, what is the use of future continuous tense? So this tense is used to show the work that will be happen in a future, the work that is going on in a future, the work that is continue in a future in a certain time. For that we are using the future continuous tense. So first we see the definition. So the tense that tell us the action is expected to be taken place in the future called future continuous tense here. So in a short we can say that the future continuous tense, so the work that will be going on in a nearer future here. So the work will be going on here. So the work will be going on, we use here future continuous tense here. So let me see the example here. And what we have to use here? So we have to use the helping verb shall and will, and we have to use be and verb ing here. So all the continuous tense we have to do verb ing here. So first the example I is given here. So with the I subject we have to use shall, then be, then verb ing read change into reading a novel here. So our answer is I shall be reading a novel here. Then with the we subject we have to use shall. If the subject is I and we, so we have to use shall. Then be, then play change into playing a cricket here. Then third example, that is he. With the he we have to use will, then be and make change into making a project here. Then after fourth example, then Tom will be painting the fence here. So in a subject, Tom is given here. So with the Tom subject, we have to use will, then be, then paint change into painting the fence here. Then they will be appearing the exam here. So with the they subject, we have to use will, then be, then appear change into appearing the exam here. Then it, with the it subject we have to use will, then be, then rain change into raining heavily here. So we can say that the tense that show here the work will be going on in a future. For that we are using the future continuous tense here. Let me see here the positive sentence with the formula is given here. If the for the positive sentence we have to, by seeing the subject we have to change the verb here. So in a subject I or we is given here, then on that times we have to use shall as a helping verb, then be for showing here the future continuous tense, then verb ing here. So all the continuous tense we have to add verb ing here, and then after object, then other word, and last we have to keep the full stop here. And if the subject is you, they, he, she, it, singular and plural noun is there, then on that times we have to use helping verb will, then be, then verb ing, then object, then other word, and last we have to keep the full stop here. So let me see here, the example is also given here. So by seeing the I subject, we have to use shall as a helping verb, then be, then go change into going to the market here. So I shall be going to the market here. Then Mona is a singular noun, then with the singular noun we have to use will, then be, then sing change into singing a song here, and last we have to keep the full stop here. Then children is a plural subject is given here. So with the plural subject also we have to use will, then be, then play change into playing in the garden here. Then Vitik is a singular noun, then with the singular noun we have to use will, then be, then drive change into driving a car here. And last, we have to keep the full stop here. Then the train. The train is a singular subject is given, will be arriving soon here. So we have to keep here will be, then arrive change into arriving soon here. Then Gita is a one singular noun is there. Will be we have to keep here to show the future continuous tense. Then feed change into feeding. We have to add it ing as a suffix. Then feeding the monkey, and last we have to keep the full stop here. So there is very simple here. By seeing the subject, if the subject is I and we, so we have to use sol, then we have to keep the be, then verb ing here. Then you, they, he, she, it, singular noun, plural noun is there. On that times we have to use will as a helping verb, then be, then verb ing we have to keep, object, other word, and last we have to keep the full stop here. And for the negative sentence, the formula is given here. So what is the formula here for the negative sentence? So I and we is there, then we have to use sol, then we have to keep the not here. It means shall not here. Sol not, then be, then verb ing, object, other word, and last we have to keep the full stop here. Then if the subject is you, they, he, she, it is there, singular noun, plural noun is there, on that times we have to use will not, then be, then verb ing, then object, then other word, and last we have to keep the full stop here. So by seeing the subject we have to change the object here, verb here. So subject is there, then we have to keep the verb. It means will and shall, then we have to keep the not for making the negative sentence. So we is given here, so with the we subject we have to use shall, then not, then be celebrating, ing we have to keep here with the be, then celebrate change into celebrating birthday here, and last we have to keep the full stop here. Then they subject is given here, so they is there, then we have to use will not here. With the they subject we have to use will not, then be we have to keep, then burn change into burning crackers here, last we have to keep the full stop here. Then the horse is given in a subject, so with the horse subject we have to keep here will not, then be, then run change into running, ing we have to keep here, and fast, then last we have to keep the full stop here. Jeet is a singular noun, with the jeet we have to write the will not, then be we have to keep here, then eat change into eating the pizza, and last we have to keep the full stop here. Then fifth example is given here. India is given here in a subject, with the India subject we have to keep the will not, then be we have to keep, then play change into playing, taste match, last we have to keep the full stop here. So in short we can say that if for the making the negative sentence we have to use not after shall and will for making negative sentence. If we keep the not after shall and will, then definitely we can make easily sentence negative here. And for the interrogative sentence, so interrogative sentence we have to keep shall first. By saying the subject I and we is given here, so we have to keep the shall first, then subject I or we, then be, then verb ing, then object, then other words, or last we have to keep the question mark for making the interrogative sentence here. And if the subject is you, they, he, she, it, singular noun, plural noun is given here, so on that times we have to keep here will first, then subject, then be, then verb ing, then object, then other words, and last we have to keep the question mark here. So here for the making interrogative sentence we have to keep the will and shall the first, and last we have to keep the question mark for making the interrogative sentence here. So if here I is given here, so we have to keep first shall, then I is a subject, then be, then use change into using the computer here. So it is used to ask someone the question. The work will be you do the work continue in the future or not. For that we are using the future continuous tense here. Then will you. Subject you is given here. So we have to keep the will first. Then you, subject, then be, then teaching, teach change into teaching, then grammar, that is a question mark is here. Then by saying the teachers is given here is a subject, but we have to keep the will first, then subject, then be, then check change into checking the paper, then last we have to keep the question mark here. Then the magician is given here in a subject. So in a subject the magician is here. For making interrogative sentence we have to keep the will first, then subject the magician, then be we have to keep, then so change into showing we have to do the ing forms of the verb, then the magic, that last we have to keep the question mark here. Then the children is given here in a subject here. So with the subject plural is given here, so we have to keep the first will, then the children subject, be we have to keep here, then solve change into solving the sums, that is question mark, to frame the interrogative sentence here. Then the birds is given here in the subject, so we have to keep the will first, then subject the birds, be, then make change into making, we have to do the ing forms of the verb, the nest is a object, and last we have to keep the question mark here. So in short we can say that future continuous tense, that show here the work that will be continue going on in a future time in a certain times here. Tense means times we know that, and whatever the changing occur we have to do change in a verb here. Without verb we cannot make any sentence here. But remember it carefully, for the future continuous tense we have to use the helping verb, that is shall and will. If the subject is I or we is there, then on that times we have to use shall as a helping verb, then be we have to keep, then verb ing require. In all the continuous tense we have to do verb ing here, and last we have to keep the full stop here. If the subject is you, we, you, they, he, she, it, singular subject or plural subject is there, on that times we have to use will, and then be, then verb ing, and last we have to keep the full stop for making positive sentence. And for the negative sentence we have to keep not after shall and after will for framing the negative sentence. And for the interrogative sentence we have to keep will or shall first, then subject, then be, then verb ing, then object, then last we have to keep the question mark to frame the interrogative sentence. Okay, thank you.